प्रभु की जय हो। संगत प्रणाम माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. You have to give me 1 minute time. So the glories of the association of devotees, the glories of performing the devotional service along with the devotees has been emphasized, and we have seen that in 239th verse, first chapter, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given an elaborate purport. By having the association Nashtaprayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So here when we say Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, it refers to Bhakta Bhagavat, Grantha Bhagavat. Both. Grantha Bhagavat can be served only with the help of Bhakta Bhagavat, or very difficult to understand the imports of the Vedas, because Bhagavatam is the essence of Vedas. It is the Galitam Phalam. Nigama Galita Phalam Shukhamukhat Amrita Drava Samyutam Pibata Bhagatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. Very clearly it has been said, it is Rasikaha Bhuvi Bhavukaha. Rasikas, they relish Bhagavatam. How they relish Bhagavatam? Because it is there in the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami, who has tasted this Bhagavatam. It is the Galitam Phalam. It is the ripened fruit of the Vedas. If the Vedas is compared to Kalpataru, Kalpataru means the wish-fulfilling tree, then it is said now it is no more in the Veda, in the tree. That means the import of Bhagavatam or the secrets of Bhagavatam is very difficult to be understood, even by the Veda Pathis, those who are serving the Vedas. It is impossible even to understand the imports of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is such a literature where only devotion and glories about devotion, glories about devotional service, glories about the devotees has been spoken elaborately. That is why in the association of devotees only one can understand Bhagavatam. So now 240th verse. भक्तिहीन कर्मे को न फल नाही पाय, से ही कर्म भक्तिहीन परहिंसायाय. Bhaktiहीन कर्मे. So bhaktiहीन karma, with the activities which is devoid of devotion, ko na phala nahi paya. What is the use of doing some activities which is devoid of devotion? Because you are not going to get any substantial result. Sei karma bhaktihina parahimsayaya. Such type of activities will only cause violence to others. You see the powerful statement, the most powerful statement. Any activity which is devoid of devotion, so that is why it is said, don't mix with the people who don't have desire to chant the holy name. Those who don't have desire to hear about Krishna, actually one should not entertain them also, because they are so inauspicious. They are so inauspicious. They will only cause violence to others. What is the meaning of violence? Violence to themselves, violence to others. Here, violence refers to the envious tendency. There is one meaning, envious tendency. You can be envious by your words, envious by your action, envious by your body language. This is one type of violence. Another violence is he makes others also lose the opportunity of being Krishna conscious. That's another meaning. He makes others also lose the opportunity of being Krishna conscious, because if you mix with such mundane people, they will only talk nonsensical things, and they will lose the opportunity. They will make others also lose the opportunity. Even in the verse, Nivritta Tarshe Rupagiyamana Bhavaoshada Shotra Manobhirama Ka Uttama Shloka Pun Ka Uttama Shoka Gunanuvada Puman Virajyeta Vina Pashugnath is referred to a person who kills, a killer of an animal, a slaughterhouse. The killer of an animal. Yes, the same thing has been mentioned here. Nivritta Tarshe Rupagiyamana. He is not interested in Gunanuvadas of Krishna. He is not interested in giving up his Trishna also, the desires. So he is compared to a Pashugrat, a killer of the soul. So he will kill others also. The performer of pious activities not executed for the pleasure of the Lord does not achieve any result. Sometimes you say, oh, we have to perform some festival. For what? Sarvadharman pariteja mamekam sharanam vraja. If we are doing it just for the namesake, because we had been doing so many years. When we started it, we never did it. Traditional functions are there. It is good, perform, but it is not for the pleasure of Krishna. Because we are doing it out of fear of the tradition which has been going on for so many years. But any activity which is done for the pleasure of Krishna, like chanting, hearing, association, serving the cows. Just see, there are so many activities which give pleasure to Krishna. And there are so many traditional activities which we do. Maybe we may say, oh, I am bringing Ganapati. I am having Ganapati festival. But is it for pleasure of Krishna? Just ask to yourself. You are doing it out of fear. We worship various demigods just because our father, mother, grandfather, grandmother had been doing that, traditional festivals. But ask to yourself, is it for the pleasure of Krishna are we doing? No, it is because of the fear we don't want to give up. So what we do? We just take Krishna's name and say, no, we are doing actually for Krishna. So it is very clearly said, it is not going to give any result. In fact, whatever results you are going to get, that also will be deprived. Activities that are devoid of devotion to the Lord are simply violence. Very clearly, it is waste of time. You call people, you show the demigods whom you have kept. All these things is actually, it is causing time waste. In other words, every activity in which there is an absence of devotional service results in violence. Fruitive activity, mental speculation are both dependent on devotional service. But devotional service is not dependent on fruitive activities. See, devotional service is not dependent on fruitive activity. You cannot say that, oh, I am keeping Ganpati so that I can do devotional service. No. Mental speculation is not dependent on mental speculation. It's not dependent on mystic yoga. Rather, it is fully independent and unaffected by anything material. So one should be courageous enough to stop so-called traditional functions, which has no meaning, no sense, which is not there in the agamas also. It is not there. Why you are calling Ganpati only for 1.5 days? Why a person is calling only for 5 days or 10 days? It is not there in the agama. You want to worship Ganpati, worship sincerely. Everyday worship. Yadpada Pallava Gomvinidhaya Kumbha Dvandve Pranama Samayita Ganadi Raja Vignan Vihantumana Malasti Jagatvesa Govinda Madhi Purusham Tamamajam. Chant this verse and worship that, oh Ganesha, you have got this power to remove the klesha from Govinda. Don't do it ritualistic. Do it sincerely. That is why a devotee should chant Brahma Samhita every day. So 5 principal demigods are automatically worshipped with connection to Krishna, including Brahma, Shiva, 5 principal demigods, Brahma, Shiva, Surya, Ganesha, and Durga ji. Oh, why do something separate? Do every day, worship every day, but in connection with Krishna. There is no possibility of violence in the execution of devotional service. In other words, no form of violent activities can remain in the devotional service of a servant inclined towards the service of the Lord. So a devotee is never violent. Devotee cannot be violent also. Because devotee does not waste his time. If he is calling himself a devotee, then the first and the foremost thing is he will not waste his time and others' time also. His responsibility is to engage himself and others also in devotional service. If he is not doing that, then he is not a devotee. A simple formula of a devotee. He should not waste his time, others' time. If he is wasting his time and others' time in fruitive activities, mental speculation, nonsensical gossips, then he is a violent person. He is wasting his time, others' time. Condemnation of materialistic activities is described in the following statements. The Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila speaks to his mother, Devahuti, as follows: Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragyaya kalpate na tirtha pada sevayai jivannapi mruto hi saha. Anyone whose work is not meant to elevate him to religious life, anyone whose religious ritualistic performances do not raise him to renunciation, anyone situated in renunciation does not lead to devotional service to the Supreme Lord, must be considered dead, although he is breathing. What a powerful statement to see. And one verses of Bhagavatam is so beautiful. Now, work is not meant for religious life. What is the use? Any work, it is meant to elevate a person in dharma. Okay? And that dharma should be performed to raise himself to the platform of renunciation. What is dharma? Dharma means yajna. Yajna means sacrifice. You cannot just accumulate and say, I'm a devotee. No, you should know to sacrifice. You should know to give. How many of us really give 1/10 of our income in the service of Lord? Ask to yourself. Don't have to give any explanation. Ask to yourself, you are earning. Lord is providing every month. Lord is providing us air, water, everything. But are we really sacrificing 1/10 of the income for the propagation of Krishna consciousness, for cow protection, for our own realization? Because renunciation, work means, any work means fruits are going to be there. And that fruits, 1/10. Actually, Rupa Goswami says, advanced devotee should remove 50%. But still some concession is given, okay, 1/10. Ask to yourself, note down your income and ask to yourself, are you sharing 1/10 of your income every month without asking in Krishna consciousness? The rest 40% is utilized for like emergency or naimitika sevas, emergency sevas, like suddenly some construction comes. Then that is naimitika. Don't say I have given for construction. That doesn't mean that you should not give per month. The cows are eating every day. The Brahmanas are eating every day. Vaishnavas are fed every day. So are we really doing that? That renunciation, has it come to the platform of renunciation? Work should be performed according to dharma. And the dharma should give us renunciation. And that renunciation is meant to serve Krishna. It's not that, I am renounced, I have just given everything to some blind association or here and there, I have just given. What is the use? You have not given Krishna consciousness there. You don't know whether they are using it in Krishna's service or not. You have not brought that person in Krishna consciousness. Are you giving devotional service to others? Ask. There are many, many institutions who are taking charity. There is ISKCON who is taking charity. By taking charity, he is engaging him in Krishna's service. There is a lot of difference between giving to some anathashram or vruddhashram and giving in the devotional service, in the temples. When you are giving in the temple, and that to the temple where devotional service is propagated, then actually he is breathing. If he is not doing that, he is dead. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Suta Goswami speaks to the sages headed by Shaunakadi Rishi. Dharma swanishtita pumsam vishwakshena tata suya na utpadititi ratim shrama eva hi kevalam. If that rati for hearing about Krishna is not there, when you say we are giving in the temple, we are maintaining the temple. The temple is meant to hear Krishna Katha. But it's not just a place of ding dong bell. It is a place, it is the facility provided to the people so that they can come, take darshan, and chant the holy name and hear about Krishna. So maintenance of the temple is very important. Every temple has its own maintenance expenses, and the devotees are supposed to contribute in that. Because the facility is not just, oh, I don't come to temple, I am staying somewhere far. So what? There are devotees who are coming to the temple. Oh, I don't visit Goshala. So what? Cows are eating every day. Your income should be divided in such a way that 1/10 of your income is utilized for all these purposes. Then you see missionary activities become very easy. Just accumulation is only going to be the cause of one's own problem. How the Lakshmi will go away, you will only not understand. Because Shrama eva hi kevalam, it's only in hard work. If Vishwakshena Kathasuyah, the desire to hear about Krishna is not there. The desire to give facilities to others also is not there. Shrama eva hi kevalam. The Bhagavatam, Narad Muni speaks to Vyasa. Naishkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitam na shobhate jnanamalam niranjanam kutha punashashvat abhadramishwarena charpita karma yadapi akaranam. Memorize this verse. Very important verse. You may say, we are not interested in the results. We never ask anything from our children also. We are not interested in the results. So what? Naishkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitam. It is not having achyuta bhava. Why are you not taking from your children? You should take. They are earning. You should take 1/10 of your income and donate. If you say, I don't take from my children, that means you are allowing your children to be violent to themselves also, to others also. Engage everyone in Krishna's service because karma means fruits. Fruits has to be employed in Krishna's service. At Naishkarmyam api, even though he may say, oh, I don't take anything from my children. He may say, I am a nishkarmi or nishkarma. What is the use? It doesn't have achyuta bhava. Na shobhate jnanam alam niranjanam. You may have so much of knowledge. What is the use? But there is no achyuta bhava. Na shobhate jnanam alam niranjanam. Kutha punah shashvat abhadram ishware. Kutah punah shashvat abhadram ishware. It is inauspicious from the beginning itself. Developing children in materialistic activities, not allowing them to perform devotional service, that is troublesome in the beginning as well as troublesome in the end also. Always remember, such children are not going to be of any use to yourself also, to you, to anyone. They are only the burden in the society because you are producing asses, donkeys. They are just hard workers. They may accumulate a lot of knowledge. They may be the best of the institutions. You may put them, everything they will be doing. They will study very nicely, everything. But ultimately, achyuta bhava varjitam. So what will happen? The eagerness to hear is not there. Kutaha puna shashvata bhadramishware. It is beginning, it is an inauspicious work in the beginning also. And it is going to be painful and it is not going to be utilized in the service of Lord. So that is why it is said, Krishna consciousness is a very, very smart and a very tactful activity. How to engage each and every one in Krishna's service. The deep desire. It is a very technical, you can say, a very smart and very, you should be very expert in it. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna instructs, Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam, shine punye martalokam vishanti. Shine punye martalokam vishanti. Evam tri dharmam anuprapanna gata kama kama labhante. 9th chapter, 21st verse. Shine punye martalokam vishanti. So in this way, when bhuktva swargalokam vishalam, when he has enjoyed the heavenly pleasure, now shine punya, all the pious activities are exhausted. Martalokam vishanti, comes back to this mortal world. Evam trai dharmam anuprapanna. So he is seeking enjoyment from where? Three dharmam, three Vedas. Gatagatam kama kama labhante. So what will happen because of this? Again and again, he will be put in the birth and death cycle. He may be a very pious person. What is the use of pious activities if it is not having Krishna consciousness? So such type of pious activities will only make him fall again after all his merits are over. In the Mundaka Upanishad, it is stated, Plava hiyete adhruda yagyarupa ashtadashokam avaram yeshu karma etat shreyo ye vinandanti mudha jara mrutyum te punareva piyanti. So even the best of the karma performed with 18 priests are unreliable boats for crossing the ocean of material existence. Those deluded souls who take to materialistic forms of sacrifice, thinking that they lead to higher spiritual gain, are fools who suffer again and again the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. So what is the use of sacrificial performances, that too done with 18 priests, if we are not having the inclination to chant the holy name and perform devotional service? Again in the Mundaka Upanishad 1.2.9, it stated, Yat karmino na pravedayanti raga tena turaha kshina lokaschavante. Deep in the darkest of ignorance, these fools think we have reached the goal. Being attached to karmic religions, they fail to understand the truth. After that piety is exhausted, they fall down to repeated birth and death. Kapilera bhave prabhumayera shikhaya shuni sehi vakya shachiyananda milaya. So in this way, Lord, in the mood of Kapila, instructed his mother. Upon hearing his words, Sachimata merged in ecstasy. Milaya means she became attached, she became absorbed, she saw, she melted. So in this way, ki bhojane, ki shayane, ki bajagarane, Krishna binu prabhuara kichu na vakhane. Whether eating, whether sleeping, whether awake, Lord did not speak of anything other than Krishna. While eating, sleeping, remaining awake, the Lord never attempted to glorify anything other than the topics related to Krishna's names, forms, qualities, pastimes. Persons belonging to the Gauranagaris and other Apa Sampradayas say that the householder Gauranga instructed attached householders to simply perform Grahameda Yagyas or sacrifices for the prosperity of one's family life. But in this case, the author Thakur Sri Vrindavan Das does not describe any such or similar endeavors of the Lord, who is fully absorbed in the mood of a devotee. So Lord did not encourage any Grahameda Yagya. Grahameda Yagya means the Yagyas for sense gratification, Yagyas having fruitive results. He did not encourage that. The Yagyas by which one glorifies Krishna, one advances in devotional service. That has never been prohibited in the Vedas or in the devotional injunctions. Aptamukhe ye katha shunina bhaktagana sarvagane vitarka bhavena mane mana. When all the devotees heard from their friends about this, they discussed together and began to contemplate. The second line of this verse indicates the devotees began to discuss, imagine, and consider. So whatever katha one hears, one has to repeat it to his known ones. Kiba Krishna Prakasha Haile Se Sharire, Kiba Sadhu Sange, Kiba Purve Samskare. How Krishna manifested in his body? Is this the result of devotees' association or because of previous purificatory processes? So in this way they used to discuss. Yai mata mane sabe karena vichara sukha maya chitta vritti haila sabara. All the devotees contemplated in this way, their hearts filled with happiness. Kandhila bhaktera dukkha pashandira nasha Mahaprabhu Vishwambhara Haila Prakasha. The devotees' distress was vanquished. Atheists were uprooted as the Supreme Lord Vishwambhar manifested himself. Now the rising sun-like preaching of devotional service to Krishna by Vishwambhar, who is a distributor of love of Krishna, throughout the entire world eradicates the former mental agony of the devotees, who were ridiculed and harassed by the non-devotees, and begins the pastime of oppressing the atheists who were opposed to devotional service. So here, the scholastic pastimes ended and pure devotional service, which was the real mission, propagating pure devotional service, which was the real mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, started. Vaishnava Aveshe Mahaprabhu Vishwambhara Krishnamaya Jagata Dekhaye Nirantara. In the mood of a Vaishnava, Mahaprabhu Vishwambhar constantly saw Krishna present everywhere in this world, in the world. So here we'll stop. So in this way, Vishwambhar constantly spoke about Krishna, saw Krishna everywhere. He himself is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So, but he is showing how to be a devotee. So here we'll stop. Any questions you can ask. Any questions? Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Stop here.